Friends, family, fans, we're live for another episode of Back Nine Bets. Episode 139. You want to make history. You know the WANNAMAKE trophy? All the episode titles are typically the best if you read them, but that's okay. Welcome back to Back Nine Bets. Let's have a freaking party. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, retweet, repost. Let's have a banger. We are sipping on some margaritas. We're in North Carolina, rocking the hats. We just having a good goddamn time tonight. So wherever you may be, however I may find you, it's a bad night, let's make it better. If it's a good, let's make it great. So grab something you're allowed to drink, get rid of the gnats in your life, and let's have a nice old sip. That was easy. Let's go. Welcome to Back Nine Bets, folks. Make sure that you are visiting ProfitX over at ProfitX. Play ProfitX on X. Lots of X's going on there. Hopefully you don't have an X that you're playing ProfitX on. Anyway, moving along, we'll get to some placements on ProfitX. The bets there, the odds are amazing. We'll be diving into the Discord because I've got all sorts of amazing stuff over here for you this week on my Model Maniac Patreon. Use code PGA25 to get yourself 25% off on the models. Here it is. I've got the color codes. I've got the ownership. I've got it all for you guys. So go ahead, make sure you dive in there, use code PGA25, and we'll get right into it. We're going to be talking bets. Got a couple placements and two futures, unfortunately, for this week. I don't typically do those, but that's just the way the world worked out this week. We're going to be chatting a lot of DFS, though. A lot of DFS. So don't you worry. We're going to be going through, guys. I've got these dudes color-coded. So if you are colorblind, I'm going to walk you through this audibly. Don't you worry. If you aren't, you can see what's going on here. Kevin's in the chat. What's up? Let's see what this week brings. Don't forget to sing the link to get you paid up. Oh, yes, I will get you taken care of. Don't you worry. Chris Draper in the house. By the way, the winner of last week's YouTube comment was Joanne. She said Nick Dunlap was going to finish DFL. He did. There were 3 WDs, but he was not one of them. He did finish last on the leaderboard. Comment in the comments after this goes live. Let me know who's going to finish DFL this week. A lot of PGA professionals this week. So it's going to be difficult to figure it out. But Joanne, she's the winner of these contests. She knows who finishes first. She knows who finishes last. And she rocks and rolls. We're going to get in the Discord at some point. Welcome, Joanne. What's up, JD? Chris Draper said, let's win something. Let's win something. Hey, last week we won 007 units. 0.07 units were won last week. So we are profiting, even though we had Aaron Ryan missed by a shot. Corey Connors missed by a shot. Rory missed by a shot. Could have had a big week. JT could have won the tournament. So we're feeling it. We are feeling it. Mikey on the big TV. Let's go. Fire in the asshole. Let's go. Mrs. Maniac's mom's in the back room here. We're going to have to watch out what Mike says on this when I read it out loud. Moving into the model, yeah, friends. Welcome aboard. Let's dive right into it. As always, we got the model. This is a major. So I'm going to be using major data. That's how I level the playing field. This is because we've got Liv, we've got DP World Tour guys, we've got PGA. And when it comes to figuring out how to level the playing fields, who's played the best in majors? Major data is so different because, just for example, it's a very extreme example, but Justin Rose. Think about what he gets up to in majors. Think about what Brooks Koepka gets up to in majors. Majors are a different beast. Guys do different things. They play differently. They step it up. They get it done in majors. So we're using strokes gained major data. As you can see here, I've got major finishes since 2021. Who's missed cuts? Who's won? Top twos. All that jazz. I'm going to go over to the Discord quickly and tell you real quick what I want to see from golfers going forward. It's a very important strategy. Here we go. Let's pull up the Model Maniac Discord here. This is the screenshot that I use to kind of make my bets. If you haven't finished first or second, you will never see me betting someone to win a major championship outside of maybe the US Open. Got to give me a top 5 at least over there. But if you take a look at the PGA Championship, 5 of the last 7 golfers have been prior major winners. Once we get to the Open Championship, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of the last 12 Open Championship winners have finished first or second in a major beforehand. Major track records are essential. So we're going to be looking at all sorts of stuff. We've got some guys that I'm not looking at. He has a couple dudes with wins, second place finishes, and no wins. We have the most second place finishes. Will Zalatoris has kind of fallen off the map, unfortunately. So there's a lot going on in the Model Maniac Discord. Check it out when you get a gap. I appreciate every single one of you that do. Joanne's saying you flatter me. It's all good info we get. Hey, you're welcome. I make you happy because you make me happy, Joanne. It's a happy family over here. All right, so here's the major cheat sheet. If you're looking for some major finishes, we've got that for you over here in chronological order. If you're looking for PGA Championship finishes, we've got all of that for you guys over here. Lots to like. Course history at Quail Hollow. We've got the 2017 PGA Championship that was played here, which was at Quail, which Justin Thomas won. So don't be honey-dicked by Justin Thomas's situation here. Hasn't necessarily played the greatest golf at Quail since, but he's carrying a lot of weight, having won at Quail in 2017. So we're going to get to all of this. We're going to have a good time. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I appreciate every single one of you. Let's get partying. Woo! It's easy. Let's go. All righty. So right at the top of the board, we've got Scotty freaking Scheffler rocking and rolling over here. We're going to just pull up Profit X right now. They've got placement markets for you guys, and the placement markets at Profit X are ludicrous right now. Scotty Scheffler's market, you can find a top 5 for Scotty Scheffler at minus 160. It's the best in the market. We popped that bet out there, minus 150. We are waiting for that to get matched. So if you don't think Scotty Scheffler is going to finish top 5, you can go bet the other side over there. Grab that. Take my money. I don't care. It's how this thing works at Play Profit X. So use code FG Degenerates to get yourself 1.5%, 2.5% off on sign up. But don't worry, you're not getting a great sign up bonus. You're going to make it all up when you get great odds like this. So that's where we're going first up. Here is freaking Scotty Scheffler, top 10, minus 150. We're potentially going to be going to him at minus 158. If we have to, minus 160 is also available. So very, very nice, favorable odds there for a guy who, Scotty freaking Scheffler, in majors since 2021, has finished inside the top 10. And I'm going to just hide this until we get to the DFS side of things. Scotty Scheffler in majors, 71% of the time since 2021, he's finished inside the top 10. That's absurd. When it comes to top 5s, he's doing that 35% of the time. He's never played at Quail Hollow, so we're not going to get any of that. He has the best finishes at Quail Hollow. We've got the 2017 highlighted here in red because that was the PGA Championship back in 2017. But if you're taking a look at what Scotty Scheffler's got up to, he trounced the field with the best ball striking performance of his career. At the CJ Cup Byron Nelson. So he's entering this week playing sensational golf. We will be betting him heavily. We'll be betting him in the top 10 market in a big, big way. A quick DFS tangent over here. We won't be playing him in DFS heavily at all. Maybe in a couple lineups, maybe not. I will be hinging most of my lineups over Rory and Bryson. Because if we take a look at let's just take a look at the winner of the tournament here. For Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy, their odds to win this tournament is almost identical, right? So why would you want to pay up $1,200 for very little ownership leverage for Scotty when you can get Rory, who, by the way, has just got insane track record at this golf course. Insane golf he is playing right now. So Scotty Scheffler, top 10, minus 150. The betting market is providing you the most value right now. Do not kind of get tempted to be betting, to be playing him in the DFS world. I don't think the value is there. He's way too highly priced right now. So maybe we play him, maybe we don't, but we are leaning heavily on Rory and Bryson in that department. Comprende? Here we go. Scotty Scheffler, minus 150 top 10 at Play Profit X. Hopefully that get matched. Kenny Kim has been popping bet after bet and play after play in there, and people are matching his numbers, and they are absurd numbers you can't get at other books. So go and check it out, please, and thank you. What's going on, commentating nerd? Joanne saying, as soon as I join Patreon, I will join the Discord. It's basically the same thing. You pay at the Patreon and then you come into the Discord. That's where everything's housed. Scuba Steve, what's up? Let's go. Moving along. We got the future for Rory McIlroy. If you have been a stern and loyal supporter of the show, you know that we've been chatting about Rory McIlroy to win this thing from December time already. I was figuring he'd be doing this Holy Pentinity thing where he wins his 5th major and the 5th time at Quail Hollow. He's won 4 majors prior to the Masters. He's won at Quail 4 times. He was going to have that just kind of collide all at once. Now he could just go and do the slam. If he wins this week, boy, oh boy, we're in pound seats. So we've got massive closing line value at 11-1. Apologies there. So you can't really bet that anymore, but you can bet Rory top 5 at plus 110. If we go take a look at Play Profit X, here is a Rory McIlroy plus 100 that you can find right now. I've laid out there a Rory -1 plus 110 over here. Hopefully someone can match it. Earlier, we got a better match somewhere else at a better number. I think it was plus 115. So there's some really nice numbers out there when you just put them out there. People will be clicking these plays. So go ahead, play Rory McIlroy top 5 over at Play Profit X. He has been sensational in the majors. Last week at the Truist, by the way, was the first time since the 2023 Open Championship that Rory had finished inside the top 10 that was not a top 5. So whenever he pops hard for a top 5 when he's finishing inside the top 10. 35% of the time in majors, he is finishing inside the top 5. I believe that is the highest percentage in the field, along with Scotty, Rory, and Colin Morikawa since 2021. So that is just a sensational situation. And now we're playing at Quail Hollow, a hollowed ground for Rory McIlroy. So plus 110, top 5. Send that to the moon, friends. Send it to the moon. We are big fans of that. Great Quail Hollow history and all of that jazz. I have got strokes gained over here for 2025, and I've also got strokes gained in majors over here. So Rory popping 2nd and 3rd in that department. Scotty Scheffler obviously leading the tour this week. Despite Rory having won 3 times, Scotty's been more consistent, which is literally the epitome of what Scotty Scheffler does. So he has gained the most strokes this year in all the tournaments he has played. Has not played Quail. Going to be interesting to see, but I think this is a great course fit for Scotty Scheffler regardless. Notice Rory McIlroy, first off the tee in majors, strokes gained. If we go over to distance off the tee over here, we've got Rory in 2nd place, Bryson in 1st. Distance is going to be paramount this week. Rory's got that. He's the best major driver in the field. He's sensational with the long irons, the mid irons, all of that stuff. If we go over to the weighted strokes gained metrics over here, over the last 12 months, Rory McIlroy, for this specific golf course with the specific key proximities that we'll be dealing with over here, heavily invested in the longer irons. Rory checks it out very, very well. He doesn't have the greatest strokes gained from the fairway, which is where these metrics are coming from. But if we scoot over to the right-hand side here, Rory McIlroy out of the rough hits the 7th most green in regulations from 150 and out because he's just mashing driver down there and taking care of business from the rough because he's that much further down. When he's doing strokes gained-wise, he's the 4th best out the rough from 150 and out. So he's just going to be sensational doing that, and Rory is my guy. So we are looking forward to Rory. Now, the problem with Rory, that the one thing that can bugaboo him here is the major putting. All 3 of the top guys have typically struggled in the majors putting-wise. Particularly Bryson, he's had some struggles in that department. He's typically taken care of big ball striking metrics, but we are waiting on him to take care of business over here in the putting markets in the majors for Rory and Bryson. So they are 2 guys we're really looking at. I will be playing them heavily in DFS, and as a result, we've got the Bryson DeChambeau 17-1 future, another closing line value Hall of Famer. This week I've just got major CLV. So that is where we're living. But I do have plays for you guys. Bryson DeChambeau can be found for a top 5 at plus 180 over at Play Profit X. We have placed that bet over here waiting for it to get matched. If it doesn't get matched, we will find a better number elsewhere. Currently, the best number for Bryson is plus 174. So looking for that plus 180. We'll see how it goes. Bryson DeChambeau in majors has been fantastic. His past major track record. If we want to take a look, this is the tool, by the way, that I haven't even showed you guys yet. You can use this as a research tool for yourselves. Bryson DeChambeau, pull his name up over here and click it. And then you click majors, and then you can see what he's got up to in the majors. So in the last 4 majors, we've got a 6th, a 2nd, a 1st, miscut at the Open Championship. He's never going to play well there. And then a 5th place at the Masters, his best Masters finish. He has not finished better than that at the Masters yet. So easily his best score to par, the most strokes gained he's gained over there, T6 in 2024, improved by 1. Now, the short game was a lot better there, despite the irons being very badly, whatever that means to you. But if we take away the majors and we take away the Masters over here, when Bryson played, I believe, in Korea, he gained a ton of strokes as well. So looking very, very good for Bryson in that department. He won, obviously, in Korea. If you're looking at his recent form over here, we've got that W for Bryson at Korea. So liking it a lot. Liking it a lot. 2nd place at Mexico City, 5th at the Masters, 5th in Miami. He's just messing around at the top of the leaderboard relentlessly. Now, 5th on Live is essentially a top 2-ish, top 3 kind of thing. Jon Rahm is just ranting and raving about his top 10 consistency on the Live Tour, which is basically like you're only beating 80% of the field with a top 10. Whereas a top 10 on the PGA is typically beating at least 10% of the field, maybe 12, 15 in a signature event. We'll get to that. But Bryson, top 5, plus 180, smash it. Let's go. We're in the mood for Bryson. 11.5 in DK, 28% ownership, 3rd highest of the bunch. These ownership numbers are still very tentative. We'll get more as we go forward. But Bryson DeChambeau, folks, absolute fantastic player. If we go take a look at what he's been up to at Quail, 33rd at the PGA Championship in 2017 before Bryson really got going. 4th at the Wells Fargo in 2018. 9th in 2021. Bryson has also been sensational with the driver. If we take a look at what he's been up to the last little while, his major top 5 percentages is 25% of them. 3rd best Quail Hollow course history from a strokes gained perspective. He's the 4th best driver of the golf ball in majors, behind Rory, Ludwig, and Jon Rahm. And he's got the best distance in the field. He leads the field in distance, and he's actually hitting fairways at an 18% clip. As hitting the 18th most fairways, should I say. Sorry. His accuracy off the tee is absurd. So he's just going to be hitting so many shots with wedges or mid-irons when everyone's hitting long irons and mid-irons from the fairway when Rory's going to be from the rough. So he's driving it absurdly well right now. You take a look at his good shots from 150 to 200, he just dials them in. He's 5th in the field in that department. Also, these are limited data sample sizes because Bryson, the good shot rates don't quite come from Live. But if we're looking for some rough stuff, his proximity from the rough is 9th, strokes gained 150. The proximity numbers and stuff with the Live dudes, it's tough. That's why we're just leaning into strokes gained metrics from majors. So if we're taking a look at Bryson's approach play, he's 32nd in the field in majors on approach. So we love that from him. And he's obviously the 4th best driver of the golf ball. So the ball striking is going to be there. We know how good he is on the greens at Quail. Hopefully he's figured out the putter. We've had some disastrous performances from him in majors with the putter, but we'll take that. We like what he's doing here this week on the ball striking front. So those are our 2 big outrights. That's basically it for me. If I didn't have an outright card already made in the future markets, Patrick Reed is someone I'm definitely looking at. So we're going to actually just jump right to him. And I've kind of bet him outright in a weird way. We're going to ladder Patrick Reed with a top 5, top 10, top 20. 12-1 for the top 5 to win 2 units. 3 units, sorry. We're betting him, no. I'm betting a third of a unit to win 120. So that's 4 units for me. That's where we're going over there. Top 20 is plus 225, and the top 10 is plus 500. So Patrick Reed, absolutely someone we're going to be looking at. If we pull up Patrick Reed's situation here, it's been freaky. He checks a lot of boxes, friends. Checks a lot of boxes. Best finish at Quail is a second place finish at the PGA Championship in 2017. 2021, he finished 6th. 2019, he finished 28th. Then he went off to live. You know, that's what happens. Finished 4th in Korea, finished 3rd at the Masters, finished 7th in Miami. Playing great golf this year. So he's doing some good work on the Live Tour. He's doing great work at the Masters. He missed a freaky 3-putted from 3 feet, 4 feet. We had Patrick Reed to win as well at the Masters. 3-jacked that 15th hole. 13th hole, sorry. If we're taking a look at his fortune cookie, he checks a lot of boxes. Putting great, top 10s at this golf course, top 20s recently, and he plays hellish conditions very, very well. If we scoot over to hellish conditions, it's one of his better metrics. Hard and hell. That's where Patrick Reed makes his living. 9th in strokes gained on hellish courses, which are scores that average over par at a particular event. And it's by round, not by tournament. So we're taking specific rounds over here on Back Nine Bets to determine how these guys do. Off the tee, Patrick Reed never really doing the greatest work. 108th, it is what it is. He's never done that. Approach play, 49th. That's not how he makes his living. If we take a look at his around the green play, he's 4th in the field in strokes gained around the green. Going to need that here. Green regulation rates are going to be low, lower than tour average at this golf course. 17th in the field in major strokes gained putting. So his short game in majors, it's fantastic. Fantastic from Patrick Reed. And then we've got 15th and 18th in putting from 5 to 15 feet over the last 36 rounds. And he's just last 36 rounds putting have been pretty darn good too. So we are a big, big fan of Patrick Reed this week. $8,100. He is my favorite play in the 8K range. 10% ownership isn't terrible. There are guys that are going off at ridiculous ownership. That's less than Keith Mitchell right now, projection-wise. So Patrick Reed, we've got Corey Connors. Corey Connors coming in here at slightly higher ownership than Patrick Reed without a major top 5 in his track record in the last 3 or 4 years since 2021. What are we doing with that? So great pivot off of Corey Connors if the steam gets there. And even if you're just picking between the two, give me Patrick Reed instead. Whew. I'm ramped up. I'm freaking ramped up right now. Hit that like, hit the subscribe. I don't even care about the gnats. I've got a gnat infestation and it's happened overnight. I don't know how it's happened, but it is what it is. So we've got people saying, Bryson, don't have to convince me on Rory or Bryson. Let's go. Even worse, Bryson is top 6 this week. Yeah, I think so too. You know, his last couple majors, that's his flaw. Last couple majors, he's been 6th. Joanne says, I like Harris English. Great course history. We'll get to Harris English. And commentating nerd sending an emoji that I don't even know. And Scuba Steve asking for Shane Lowry. We'll get there shortly. Rattling off a couple bets, and then we're going to leave the betting market alone and get to some DFS plays. So Patrick Reed, top 5, top 10, top 20. Ladder that stuff. Let's go. Basically winning 10 units by laddering. That's how I bet that. We're trying to get all the way up there in that world. 4, 3, 3 kind of thing with Patrick Reed in the top 5, top 10, top 20. Let's go. Moving along. And as you can see, Russell Henley's highlighted over here as my favorite play in the 8K range as well. Got 2 of them. I'm allowed that. It's my show. I do what I want. Russell Henley, folks, jumping around here. Top 20 for Russell Henley to win 2 units plus 225. So you're basically betting a unit to win 2.25. Russell Henley, if we're taking a look at his situation here, he's 130th in a field that's got like 156 people in it in driving distance. But he's 15th in accuracy. So that's going to be important for him. You got to avoid the disasters off the tee. And by disasters, I mean continually hacking it out of the thick-ass wet rough. that's currently being rained on as we speak. Or not right now, not raining right now, but you know what I'm saying. Still soaking up all the water from the last couple days. As a result, Russell Henley, courses that are 7,200 yards and beyond. It's a long course, and that includes the 7,400-yard courses, 7,500, 73, 72 plus. He's 17th in strokes gained off the tee. Hitting fairways is underrated. He knows what his job is off the tee. He hits the damn fairways. So I'm not concerned about him over there. 56th in the field in strokes gained off the tee, despite being 130th in driving distance. So, he knows his wheelhouse, and he stays there. On approach, Russell Henley's 22nd in the field in majors. Strokes gained approach. So we love that about him. We're taking a look at around the green play. 33rd in around the green play and 32nd in putting. So his worst metric is off the tee. The other three important metrics are all inside the top 33. Well-ass rounded game. You cannot find a problem with Russell Henley's game despite having a lack of distance. Still gain strokes off the tee on the field. We love that. He's going to be 5% owned at $8,900 currently. If you guys hit the like, hit the subscribe button, we could maybe get this video going a little viral, get Russell up into 7% ownership. But that's your prerogative. Don't do it. Do whatever you want. We're taking a look at Russell Henley's career at Quail Hollow. Nothing better than a 71st place at the PGA Championship in 2017. Before we got to 2024, Quail Hollow. Finished 10th over there. How did he do it over at Quail? Let's go over and take a quick peek. Round by round strokes gained for Russell Henley at Quail Hollow. So we're going to pull up Henley, Russell. We're going to go over here, find the Wells Fargo Championship. 2024, Russell Henley. Strokes gained off the tee. He lost there. Gained 1 million strokes on approach in rounds 1 and round 4. Love that. Let's sort by date here so it's nice and tidy. Go from most recent to oldest. So great iron play in 2 rounds. The ball striking was pretty solid there, even despite losing off the tee. And then the short game. Still handled it there. Gained over 1 stroke in 3 of the 4 rounds, short game. So that's what Russell does. He just gets it done. So we're going to be betting him top 20 at plus 225. We're going to be sliding him into as many lineups as we possibly can at $8,900. Great value option. I've got him graded as the 25th model rank for the DK price of 18th in the field. So it's not quite a value per the model, but I think he's a sneaky option given the ownership over here. So I'm a big believer in Russell Henley this week. Let's freaking go, Russell. Taking a look at his major strokes gained, he's 13th in the field, and he's 11th this year in strokes gained overall. So he's playing good golf, plays great in majors, does his thing. 13% of the time he's inside the top 20. 20% he's inside the top 10. 30% he's inside the top 20, baby. So let's go. Russell Henley is my man. We are rocking and rolling with him. And now, if you haven't hit the like button, that's okay, because what we're going to do is hit this bet hard. We're going to get the sledgehammer. Going to get the truck, get the RV, bulldozer, a crane, steal a crane. I don't care. And I want you to smash this play over at Play Profit X. A top 20 finish, friends and family, on Xander freaking Schauffele. Minus 135, minus 138. Go ahead. You can request better odds over here if you want. So you can go plus 120, minus 125. Put that in there. Put your 125 down to win the 100. Off we go. If you don't want to use Play Profit X, dumb idea. There's always better odds out here for the best golfers in the field usually. Just got to time it right. Go find a top 20 somewhere else. That's okay. I'll let you do it for this specific bet. That's fine. But when we are looking at Xander Schauffele, friends, it's been absurd what he's been up to. It's been absurd. I'm going to filter here on major championships since 2022. And I'm going to look at who has been the most profitable bet in the field. And it's been Xander Schauffele top 20 market. If you've bet to win $100 in the top 20 market, every single time Xander's teed it up in a major, you would have cashed 12 straight top 20 bets. And they've never been more than the US Open. He was minus 250 after winning the PGA Championship. His odds right now are like below most of these. We got him earlier this week at minus 108 on Play Profit X. So it's out there. You can find those plays. And I'm not lying to you. Where is it? Here's my place. These numbers are out there, so you can absolutely find them. We are looking for matched plays. Here's Xander. Dropped a pretty penny on him. All of this Profit X bonus bucks. So we're laying some heavy juice here. To win $200. Minus 108. Xander Schauffele. Let's go. So go take a peek. We're in. Look at this. It's easily the best bet. Like you could have bet Colin Morikawa and Bryson DeChambeau, the second and third most profitable bets over that period, and it still wouldn't have made as much money as Xander Schauffele's top 20 market. By the way, we haven't even got to the fun stuff yet. If we take a look at what Xander Schauffele's up to, he's finished 14th, second, and second at Quail Hollow in the last 3 years. So he's got great course history at this golf course. It's fantasticals going forward here. So love what Xander's been up to. And it hasn't just been a second place finish. It's been a solo second to someone that went absurdly nuclear at the golf course. So we're going to type in Schauffele over here, and you can see what he got up to. He gained at Wells Fargo. You got to go back to 2021 in the first round. For the first time, Xander Schauffele hasn't gained a stroke on the field at Quail Hollow. So what's that? That's nine rounds ago. 10 rounds ago, you got to go back there to find Xander. It's the first round. So it's 11 rounds ago. Doing math on a stream is difficult. So the magic number for him is 11 and 12. So the 12th round, that was the last time Xander gained less than one stroke at Quail. The rest of the time, it's been amazing for him. We can actually just filter on 2024, 2023 and see how that goes. And he's gained an average of 3.8 strokes at Quail Hollow and finished second both times. 50% of PGA Tour winners gain 3 strokes per round. He gained 3.8 strokes on average playing there and finished second. So he's had some bad luck. Also, he wasn't super clutch prior to that. The Wells Fargo in 2024 was right before he went and won the PGA Championship. Kind of gave it to Rory, but Rory also ran away with it. You feel me? Xander Schauffele. Let's go. Hammer. Let's go. Okay? Let's go. Moving back to our situations over here. It is now DFS time. Half an hour into the show. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm also going to do a quick giveaway here. I don't know the answer, but I will give a free month to somebody who tells me who has the best strokes gained around the green in majors per my model. Right now, in the comments, in the live chat, hit me up. First person with the correct answer for who has gained the most strokes in majors around the green since 2021. In the chats. Let's go. In the meantime, listen to Stevie G. Hit the like button. Salute, my brother. Let's go. Have a little sip of the margarita here. We've got JD saying Decky. We've got Mix in the house saying Decky. After JD. We've got Big Deal saying Justin Thomas. Stevie G saying JT. John saying Paul. John Paul? Isn't that who's John Paul? Is he like a pope? Was he a pope at some point? Anyway, John, sorry. Who's Paul? Paul Casey? Who's Paul, John? Anyway, Parker saying Xander. I'm going to pull it up right now. See if any of you are right. I don't know the answer. It's an interesting name that may or may not. He hasn't played a lot of golf, but he's around the green play in the couple. I will give you a hint. There's a couple names that have been mentioned already, but he's played 30 rounds of golf in these majors, and he's not an American, and he's not a European. But I see Chris with probably the next best answer. It's not Patrick Reed, but that's the closest so far. Patrick Reed is fourth. Cam Smith is not the guy yet. JD saying Jason Day. Jason Day second. Burmester? No, not Burmy. And if you guys have fired an answer, fire another one in. You're okay. Let's rock and roll. Give you another 20 seconds to knock this out as I relax the voice a little bit. We got Almar just saying Lee. Hey, you got to take a chance. There might be 3 Lees in the field. You never know. Xander, Scott, no. So I'm going to give it to John. Since Drapes is in the Discord already. By the way, I'm not hating on the Discord people. There's a contest in the Discord for the worst DFS score. Free contest. If you are the worst score in that contest, you win a month free. If you want to cash that in and try and get 3 Ws, aka 3 Ls, you can win a year free subscription in the Model Maniac Patreon. If you're not in the mood for that, use code PGA25. Save yourself 25% off your first month. Link in the description for the Model Maniac Patreon. I would love you guys to join me in there. Pulling up the model over here. Patrick Reed is fourth. Benny On leads the field in strokes gained around the green in majors. He chips his face off. He's got 30 rounds of golf. It's quite impressive. So we will be playing Benny On. Makes a lot of good chips. I don't know where I was going with that. John also mentioning Rose over here. Justin Rose, by the way, the best major putter in the field by like a landslide. All of these other guys don't have that many rounds of golf in majors. Let's take a look here. Major rounds. Where's this? Rosie's got 52, and he leads the field in strokes gained putting. He just steps it the hell up. He just steps it the hell up. So we are playing Justin Rose, 4% ownership, $8,000. We're taking a look at his Quail history. It's 30th in the field. He's got a third place finish here in 2019. Justin Rose is probably playing better than 2019 right now. So, JD, I think you're a little behind. You keep rattling off names. We're done with that already now. Hit the live button. Hit the live button. Catch up to me. You're welcome, John. I do. Every now and then I show up to Sweet Spot. I do have a baby now, so there we go. Speak of the devil. Right over here. So I show up sometimes, other times not, because I'm looking after baby maniac. You know how it goes. Late at night. It's what happens. Cool. Take another sip here. Let's get on to this week's DFS plays. And you know what I'm just going to do is going to take the model and I'm going to filter this way around. By the way, John, hit the link in the description. Jump into the Discord. I will get you hooked up properly. Okay, we're going to unhide these columns. And here we are. So here's the upside versus DK ranking. So my model using strokes gain majors versus DraftKings price. And we start off with the worst guys in the field. And I don't know why it's color-coded this way, but it's just listen to the negatives. Okay. Rico Hoey, blah, blah, blah. Let's take a look at some expensive guys. Who shows up right away? Waco Neiman. If you guys have listened to me, you know the deal. 24 majors now, I think, or 23 majors. Neiman's got 1 top 20, 0 top 10s, and as a result, 0 top 5s. He is $9,600. Now, I understand he's got the 7th best strokes gained in 2025. But he's only got the 40th best strokes gained in majors. And his problem in majors is not driving. He's 12th in the field in strokes gained off the tee. It's a big deal here. He's 29th in the field in strokes gained on approach at the majors. But I tell you where the nerves show up in golf, and that's in the short game department. And Niemann is 105th in strokes gained around the green and 92nd in putting in majors. He's not going to cut it, Bob. If we pull up Niemann's situation here, and not find me playing Joaquin Niemann in majors. I understand he's a supreme talent. What is his projected ownership here? 14% of the field. He's probably not going to get a top 20 unless Niemann figures it out on the short game front. And I will gladly be late to the party over there. Waco Niemann. Let's click his name. Let's click a major box and see what he's been up to. Short game. We're going to count negative rounds here. In the 4th round of the Masters, he gained a couple strokes, sucked on the approach play, gained around the green as a result. Had a lot of opportunity, and he was pretty much out of the mix. He was 12 shots back, and he was 25th entering the round. So trying to get that top 25, top 20, his second one, couldn't get it done. Gained nothing, really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds in a row outside of the final round of the Masters, he didn't gain more than half a stroke on the field. Gained at the Open Championship in round 1. Sensational. Round 1 and round 2. Look at his strokes gained over here. He's gaining a stroke per round, basically on the fields in round 1. Weekend hits, starts hitting neutral, and then hits reverse in round 4. 16 round 4s. And it's off the tee, he's elite. He's better. He's better than normal in round 4, but everything else goes to hell. Approach play, chipping, putting. Just doesn't have it, man. Like he's got a mental situation going on here. The round 4 metrics for Waco Niemann, losing 0.8 strokes in round 4 of majors. Can't do that, buddy. Cannot do that. So I'm out. For that reason, Mark Cuban, I'm out on Niemann. And as a result, here, you can see the majority of these guys. I'm kind of fading unless the model doesn't know everything. Rico Hoey, he's got 2 major rounds. I just think his driving is worth the gamble over here. $6,400. He's affordable. I like it a lot. Andrew Novak played 2 major rounds. I don't care. He's playing some great golf right now. 37th in the field in strokes gained total. Maybe he can show up here. He's playing good golf. He's not necessarily driving the ball great, but he's really, really handy around the greens. Very, very handy around the greens. If you take a look at his around the green play and his short game, he's 5th in the field in strokes gained around the greens this year in 2025, and he's 55th in putting. So playing good golf. You're going to need, look at this. Look at this man. You know who we're talking about, Millie Goat. By the way, Millie Goat has interviewed Andrew Novak twice. Once before he won ages ago, and after he won, came back on the show to celebrate because he's an OG supporter. Find yourself a stud, a gem in the rough, and support him forever. So, congrats to you, my friend. By the way, if you aren't watching and following Millie Goats, go and check them out. Okie dokie. Any thoughts on Sungjae? We'll get there. We're kind of just going through some guys I may or may not like this week. Cam Davis, I'm a big believer in despite having the big difference over here. If we take a look at what he's been up to in majors, we got some decent performances. And I'm going to go to the major finishes here just to see what those are. Cameron Davis. And did not make it into the Open or play in the Masters, but he finished 12th at the Masters in 2024. I guess that's it. Interesting. So, not ideal. Maybe I'll have to rectify that a little bit. By the way, I'm also using the original model here. I probably shouldn't be. Are there anyone? Yeah, there's someone in it. I'm going to make a copy real quick So I'm just not messing these people around. So this, if you're watching and you use this tool, this is how you do it. File, make a copy. Boom. There we go. Little quick water break here. If you haven't hit the like, haven't hit the subscribe, haven't joined the Model Maniac Patreon, do all of those three. Do all of that for me. I'll be very, very appreciative of you. Moving along. So we're going to actually take this Cam Davis situation. Not necessarily playing the greatest, but that needs to we'll figure that out. We're going to just get Cam Davis out of here. Quick little fixie-wixie. Sam Burns in majors. He seemed to have found his groove a little bit recently and in majors. Let's take a look at what he's been up to. The only time I make a bet against Kenny Kim is when Sam Burns has his first top 10 at the US Open. Prior to that, he was the Waco Neiman with a 20th place finish in 2022. That was his best finish in the last little while. A T20, Sam Burns. Then he goes to the US Open and finishes 9th. I just don't see the upside on Burns, despite him playing some solid golf right now. We've seen him mixing it up, finished 13th at Quail in 2024, 5th at the CJ Byron Nelson, 13th at Harbour Town, and then 30th at the Truist. So not necessarily doing the greatest stuff, but doing his thing. And obviously that 5th place at the Byron Nelson was about as non-competitive as you can get with Scotty Scheffler being 8 shots ahead of everybody. Sammy Valimaki, someone that I'm interested in, $5,500, 3% ownership, played 10 major rounds, has made the cut once. So what's that? 4 majors, 4 rounds he's made it, 6 of them he hasn't. So not ideal, but he's made the cut in those events. So he's done a decent job, 1 in 4. And his driving distance, I thought he had better driving distance than that, but I still think he's a good course fit. You know, if we think about what he's got up to at these longer venues, he's a guy I'm in the mood to maybe play. Max Griesemann, a similar situation. Yeah, very good at the short game in majors, limited sample size, 8 rounds. He has a top 40 in a major. So that's good for Max Griesemann. All right. Let's now get away from the guys that don't have the greatest rankings, and we're going to follow up on some guys that have major advantages on the field here. So Rory, Scotty, and Hideki, they're all priced the same. We've already spoken about that. In fact, I'm just going to go down the board now. That's what we're going to be doing. Crack drafter. Mac, no good. MC, no good. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm here. Let the show continue. Yes, the show goes on, my friend. The show goes on. All right. So we're going to go down the board here. Rory, Bryson. Going to be in every single one of my lineups, basically. Potentially in the same lineup. Going to have to find a way to mangle a couple low-price guys into those lineups, because I can easily see these two finishing first and second. It just makes complete sense for me. We've spoken about Scotty being a betting market option. There's no value playing him when Rory and Bryson are so much cheaper, $1,200 and $1,900 cheaper than him. Ludwig is 40th in the field in strokes gained in 2025. He's completely gone off the boil. So we're not playing Ludwig. Xander Schauffele, we've said, we're betting him top 20 for a lot of money. Probably more than I'll play in DFS, to be honest with you. So I like that play on him. I like his floor being that top 20. I don't like the ceiling. Despite having won two of the last 5 majors, his first top 10 of the year came at the Masters. So he's a major competitor. We know that. But the overall floor for Xander hasn't been there. And I'm concerned about Xander Schauffele's short game. He was elite. He had one of the best bogey avoidance rates in history. Sub 10% last year. I think Justin Ray quoted that, saying that he potentially, like to play all those difficult major events, all the signature events, to only make bogey on less than 10% of your holes is absurd. And he did so. Like, we can take a look at his metrics here. He has around the green and he has putting. He's currently gaining 0.6 in his career. In 2025, we see a bit of a dip. The drive has been left behind. The short game and putting has been struggling. In 2024, the short game around the green was gaining 0.3 strokes, despite the approach play being so damn good. You don't have that many opportunities to add to your short game metrics because he's probably just pounding greens in regulation. The putter was better. It was his second best strokes gain metric over here. You can, if you're going over here and you want to use this tool, you can see all the different. I hate that it's so small like this, but you can like zoom in and see all the different stuff on this tool. So as you can see there, the short game, even more recently, it kind of showed up a little bit at the truest, but still lost in round one, showed up quite nicely in round two. The putter really started dialing in. Still losing around the greens. You're going to have that here this week. So the short game has been hit and miss, a little inconsistent. We need that locked in short game from Xander if I'm going to be wanting to go to him in the DFS market at 17%, $10,700. I'll rather just go to Bryson, who I know is playing the best golf of his career right now. Xander is probably in third gear, given what we know. Yeah. He's a fantastic golfer. I still think he's going to find his stride. We saw how long it took Scotty Scheffler to find his groove. He won the Byron Nelson 2 weeks ago, which was the end of April. Scotty cut his hand before Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like, Scotty just really, really only found his groove once we got to Texas. Didn't play well in Florida, where he's won the Byron Nelson, didn't win the Players. Xander's going to take the time to get there. I think maybe the US Open at Oakmont, but that's only 2 weeks away. I think he had the rib injury at the wrong time. Maybe if he had it right after the Olympics, he would have hit the ground running, but I just don't think we've got that there, although the ball striking and the course history is a lock for a top 20, in my opinion. So the floor is great. The upside, not so much. Colin Morikawa has never played great at Quail. We got a 16th place last year and a 99th in 2023. His recent form has been ass. He hasn't really cracked the top 10 in a while. He's just kind of top 20ing. I've bet Colin Morikawa to finish top 20 in all 4 majors. So I'm not going to be betting him at all this week. He's just not playing the best golf ever since talking shit about us and the media. So tough scenes there, although his model ranking is sensational. Colin Morikawa, look at this top 20 rate. 76% of the time he's inside the top 20 in majors. If we take a look at Colin's situation, major finishes for Colin, it's been really impressive, but right now he's going to have to find a new gear. Didn't quite have it at the Masters, kind of backdoored that top 20 there. So he's playing great in majors, but again, I just don't think he's got his fastball, and we're going to a golf course that demands. You can finish top 20, top 10 with a lack of accuracy or lack of distance and have accuracy like Colin, like Henley. I don't think you can win this thing, though. The upside is just capped if you don't have the juice off the tee. You've got to hit like every single fairway, basically. So I like him as a cash game, maybe, but he's 9% owned. Maybe. I'm going to maybe just change this to orange, probably not. We'll see. This ownership drifts. Maybe we go to him. We'll see. My next favorite guy is Victor Hovland at 10%. If you take a look at what he's been up to in major championships, particularly PGA championships, Victor's done some interesting stuff. His last 2 PGA championships showed up pretty much out of nowhere at both of them. Granted, he played very nicely to end the year, 2022. 7th at the Masters in 2023, 2nd at the PGA at, what was that one? Oak Hill. 3rd at the PGA at Valhalla, and missed the cut in every other 3. So maybe he does it again this week. We don't know. He hasn't finished worse than 41st in a PGA Championship since 2020. So Victor's got a decent PGA Championship floor. What has he got up to at Quail? Course history-wise, we can go over here. Take a look at what Viktor Hovland's done. He's gained strokes every single time he's played, particularly in 2021. What did he finish over there? I think it was a pretty solid finish given the fact that he finished third in 2021 at Quail. So he's got some course history here too. A top 40 bet on Victor is not the worst option. Now, I don't know what the heck his odds would be, but just saying. Weird stuff happens at these majors. Viktor Hovland, 10% owned. He has got a top 5 ceiling for sure at $9,800. Like him a lot. Jon Rahm has played Quail Hollow here. 2017 PGA, 58th. 2021, he finished 99th, which means he missed the cut. That was before he left to live. That's his limited starts. If you don't like a golf course, you don't play. You know what I'm saying? If we take a look at Jon Rahm's major finishes the last little while, we are looking at a PGA Championship track record. In 2018, he finished 4th. In 2021, he finished 8th. Those are his only 2 top 10s. Got a 13th, and then the next best finish is a 48th, a 50th, and 2 missed cuts. Not a PGA guy. So we're taking a look at, let me just freeze these panes over here for us. Freeze up to column C. There was a problem. I don't like problems. Let's unmerge. Heads up. Oh God. Okay. We'll just lose the entire thing. Whatever. We're still going to freeze it though, because I want to see what the hell's going on down the side here. For fuck's sakes. Okay, anyway, we're going to keep going. Where's Jon Rahm? Here he is. If we take a look at his recent major track record. Open Championship in 2024, finished 7th. Congratulate. 7th? Or was that a second in 2023, 7th in 2024. Those were his 2 best finishes after he won the Masters. Prior to that, 50th at the PGA Championship in 2023, 10th at the US Open in 2023, 45th at the Masters, missed the PGA Championship cut. 14th at this year's Masters, made the cut on the number. It's been crazy. Now, there is a way I want to. Ooh, that's a hefty price. I was getting a little caught up in the Viktor Hovland top 40 stuff there. Minus 150 is rough, Mike. If it was plus money, I think it feels a little palatable, but I'm just throwing it out there. I like if the ownership drifts into the single figures, Victor's got a chance. I'm going to pull up Jon Rahm here quickly and show you Jon Rahm's major track record when it comes to strokes gained. In the last little while, take a look at what Jon Rahm's been up to. Slow starter. Real slow starter. Here's his strokes gain metrics for round 3, round 4. He's gaining over 1.5 strokes both times. Round 2, round 1, getting off to little slower starts, gaining less than half a stroke in round 1. So round 1, Jon Rahm, not the guy. If he makes the cut, bet that top 20, bet that top 10 if he makes the cut on the number. He backdoors that stuff. So like Jon Rahm on the weekend. Justin Thomas, I want to show you another thing about Justin Thomas quickly and the reason why I'm out on him. It doesn't take much to tell you this, but if we take a look at Justin Thomas's track record in majors, he's won 2 PGA Championships. Congratulations. Finished 8th at last year's PGA Championship at Valhalla, a golf course he's played a million times in Kentucky. Prior to that, a 65th. Then he won at Southern Hills from a million shots back. So JT, you bet him live. Play him in Showdown after he's got off to some slow starts. But look at his major track record here. Here's Justin Thomas's situation. 36th at the Masters, 31st at the Open, missed the cut at the US Open. PGA Championship Valhalla, 8th. Missed the cut at the Masters. Open Championship, missed cut. US Open, missed cut. PGA Championship, 65th. Masters, missed cut. Open Championship, 53rd. US Open, 37th. Then we finally got to the PGA. Southern Hills, he wins that. Masters, he finished 8th. So prior to that, Had a full year where he didn't finish inside the top 19th place finish. Congrats. He's very, very hit or miss in majors. I think he's only got 3 top 5s in majors in his career. Not just since 2021. If we're looking since 2021, Justin Thomas is got 3 top 20s in majors since 2021. Don't tell me he's been playing bad since 2021. You know, so that's my take on JT. Even though he's played well and he won the PGA here, he hasn't finished inside the top 10 since. When in 2017, his best finish was a 14th in 2023. The upside is just, you can't be as bad off the tee as Justin Thomas is in majors. If we take a look, even just this year, he's 102nd in strokes gained off the tee, 94th in strokes gained off the tee in majors. His accuracy is 100th. So he's like ass off the tee, and he's only got the 31st most distance. He's not elite in distance to make up for that accuracy deficiency. So you're going to have to deal with that stuff. Out of the rough from 150 and out, he's 28th in the field in strokes gained. 5th in the field in green regulation rates, because he's very good out the rough at hitting greens, but you're not giving yourself great looks. Your proximity is 42nd in the field. Going to make a lot of pars, not going to be making birdies. Got to make birdies in majors as well, because you're going to make a lot of bogeys. So, you know what I'm saying. Justin Thomas fade. Brooks Koepka has completely gone off the boil. Hasn't done anything in forever. We've already spoken about Joaquin Niemann. Can't do him. Where is the freaking upside here? 1 top 20 in his career in majors. No, can't do. Patrick Cantley as well. We're looking at these guys. Him and JT and Niemann are the only 2 options until you get to Tyrrell Hatton, who have single-digit top 5 major percentages since 2021. Everyone else is sitting like 13, 12. The big boys are sitting at 30%. Can't do it. You know, maybe you're projecting them to find themselves inside the top 5, but these guys have been good enough for long enough that they should have better performances in majors, and they just haven't been doing it. Hideki Matsuyama is also an interesting case. If we go over to the major cheat sheet here, Hideki Matsuyama, 0 miscuts since 2021. But Xander Schauffele in that period has more top 5s than Hideki has or as many top 5s as Hideki has top 20s. Bryson has more top 5s than Hideki has top 20s. Same as Patrick Cantley. There's just no upside. Like, where is the upside here? Couple top 5s, sure, 2, whatever, and the win at the Masters. That was it. Like, outside of that, it's been very mediocre from Hideki. Makes a lot of cuts, obviously, but there's no top 20 rates here. Ludwig's got one less top 20 than Hideki's only played 5 majors. You feel me? So Hideki, make cuts, top 40, something like that. Can't do it. There's no upside over there. And he's not even playing the best right now. So that 9% of the field is likely going to be disappointed come the weekend. Jordan Spieth, however, 18% of his finishes in majors have been top 5s. 1 in every 4 of those times he finishes top 10. So I like Jordan Spieth. Not the greatest Quail Hollow history, 2 top 30s over here. Solid finish at CJ Cup, Byron Nelson. But what I like about Jordan Spieth right now is his total driving has found a new groove. He's got distance off the tee and accuracy, both top 50 in the field. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? This year, he's 12th in the field in strokes gained off the tee. In majors, he's 16th. So he's driving the ball well. Whether or not the irons show up in majors, what has his irons been the last little while? 11th in the field. So the ball striking in majors is great. The short game, likely letting him down. Around the greens, solid. 14th in the field. And then he's 127th in putting. Yikes. So tee to green, Jordan Spieth has got it. We're just looking for some putt luck. And he's been pretty solid this year from 5 to 15 feet, more recently on bent grass. I use Bent as a replacement for Poetriv Overseed on these greens. Not the greatest. So the putter we're going to have to figure out. But at 11%, $9,300, give me Jordan Spieth. Please and thank you. Tommy Fleetwood, major putting, 105th. Around the green, let's just rattle off a couple top-end metrics now for tee to green for Tommy Fleetwood. 15th around the green in majors. On approach play, Tommy Fleetwood's 25th in the field. He's 26th off the tee. So top 25 in tee to green for all three areas. Can't putt. Model rank 14th, DK rank 16th. His strokes gained this year is 9th. Strokes gained in majors is 9th. The putting sucks. The tee to green stuff, great. You decide. It seems like the easier the course, the worse Tommy Fleetwood plays. 5th in the field in strokes gained in hellish conditions. 13th in hard conditions. 17th in medium conditions. And 23rd in easy conditions. Easy conditions. Gaining, the field average is 1 under par or easier. Medium conditions is half a stroke under par or easier. Hard conditions, under par to half a stroke under par. Hard is over par. Hellish is over par, sorry. We can expect the scoring average this week to be hellish. I know it's soft. I know it's wet. Still going to be difficult. This course has never played under par in the last 4 times they've played here, and it wouldn't be in 2017 either. So let's get to the chat here. Oh, Joanne telling me she's leaving the stream to go to Sweet Spot. I appreciate that, Joanne. I might just not let you into the Discord now. Also, if you guys aren't going to Sweet Spot DFS after the show, I'm going on to the King of the Draft with Spencer and Joel on Mayo Media Network. Then I'll go to Sweet Spot after that. So you know which path to go with you. Stay on this channel after we're done. We will be rocking and rolling. I would have 2 margaritas in me, by the way. Matt said, I got a sleeper for you, Byron. Rose 75-1 first round leader. Don't mind Connors and Keith Mitchell either. Both good odds. Yes. Absolutely. Value plays make tons of sense. Rosie's putter, best in the field. You gain 4 or 5 strokes putting out of nowhere. First round leader. You can't keep that up. We saw that happen on Saturday at the Masters with Rosie. But I feel you, brother. I absolutely love it. Course horse 4 times, but why do I want to click Bryson before him? Cheaper, better value. Bryson also, how many people win 2 majors in a row? I think that's the general philosophy here. We'll see, but maybe Rory's unbridled now. Unbridled potential now that he's got the Grand Slam. Mike says 3 placement roll-up. Double treble. Xander top 10. Carly top 40. WANNAMAKE top 40. Don't mind it. I actually kind of like WANNAMAKE too this week. Bud Carly as well. Rather have a great putter this week or a bomber that's accurate. Give me the most predictable metric in golf, and that's driving. If you can be in the fairway, that is a massive problem solved. The rough is going to be so thick and so treacherous this week, I think. Johnson Wagner was chatting to Andy on the fried egg, and he mentioned that they've overseeded the rough this year with a rye that's denser and thicker and heavier than they've ever overseeded it with, a specific strain. Where's my man Kevin, the weed farmer? We got to get the grass guy in here. Speaking about grass strains. So, absolutely. Anything on Spawn, DFS, sneaky good year? Yes, we'll get there. Okay, I'm going to start rattling off some more guys. I'm just going to go down the board here as much as I can. We've already spoken about Russell Henley, love him. Jason Day just withdrew from the Truist with an injury, potentially. Great course history here. We understand that. Playing okay this year. Injury. Risk. 9% ownership. 10% of the field could be eliminated before the weekend with 0 score if you WD somehow. Willie Z, great course, great major history. In majors, he's got the 5th best approach play since 2021. Not playing good golf right now. 55th in the field in strokes gained in 2025. No good. Minwoo Lee, what's he done? Never played Quail. Hasn't done anything this year. I'm out. 8% ownership, whatever. Wyndham Clark's interesting. I think the course history is going to boycott or hoodwink a lot of people. Quail Hollow history. He's won here, obviously. Beat Xander that 1 year. It's the only year he's had a top 40 here. The only year he's had a top 40. And by the way, it's the only time he's had a top 40 in a major was when he won at LACC. What a fraud is Wyndham Clark. Look at this. Look at this disaster here. Okay. Where are we? We're going to hide this stuff here. And follow his name. Where are you, Wyndham? You fraud. Okay. 46th at the Masters this year. 99th, miscut. 56th, miscut. 33rd after winning the LACC US Open. Miscut prior. 76th, miscut. Miscut, 75th, miscut. He's got 2 top 40s. Got one top 30. And it was a win. No dice. He's played solid one time at this golf course. He's played solid one time in a major. No good. What has he been up to this year? His strokes gained this year, he is 79th. Not playing great golf right now. Easy fade. Easy fade. Cameron Smith is going to be 3% owned, one of the lowest owned options in the $8,000 and above range. If we take a look at Cameron Smith's major pedigree, it is not ball striking, my friends and family and fans. It is not. He plays terrible in hellish conditions. We understand that. Off the tee, he's 119th in the field. That's not good. He's 21st in major strokes gained approach, though, probably because he's hacking it out from behind trees all the time. But then we get over to the short game stuff. 26th in the field in around the green play and 7th in putting. So the overall short game metrics for him are absurd. A little bit of magic in the short game department. He's been playing okay on live, to be honest with you. 7th in Korea, 5th in Mexico, missed the cut at the Masters. I think that kicked him in the dick. 9th at Miami. So he's playing solid stuff. 3 top 10s on live, whatever. Short game beast. So I like him as a leverage option. $8,400. You never know what happens. All you need from him is a top 10, and he can chip and putt his way to that. Maybe a top 15, you know. Not playing good golf. Did not make the cut at the Masters the first time he's missed the cut there. Sad days. Corey Connors makes a lot of sense, but are you going to be getting any upside from him in a top 5? The next time he finishes top 5 in the major will be the first, I think, in a while. He might have a top 5 at Augusta. Maybe. Let's click the Masters. Final position. Miscuts, T9. Yeah. I don't see a 4th place finish there, friends. So T9, T8, T6, Masters tournament in 2022. T6 is his best finish in a major. He's a safe play. Got to find a couple high upside leverage options around him if you're playing Corey Connors. Sungjae Im, someone asked me about Sungjae. T5 rate is 7%. It's mainly at Augusta. If we go to the major finishes here for Sungjae, scooting along the side here, anytime you see a red line, it's going to be the Masters to the left of it. 5th at the Masters this year. Wow, impressive. Backdoor. 7th at the Open Championship. Played well there. Miscut. 20th. Miscut. 16th at the Masters. We go to the Open. 81st, miscut. Masters top 10. 35th, 17th, miscut at the Masters. You know, like he's just not getting it done. 2nd at the Masters, miscut. 22nd, miscut. So Sanjay in majors, miss me with that. He's missing cuts, miss me with that. Easy peasy fade. For me, 7% of the field, I'm out. Give me Patrick Reed instead. Just, it's a total no-brainer to go there. Give me Justin Rose instead. At half the ownership of Sanjay at 4%. Rosie is going to be in a lot of my lineups. I'm going to be heartbroken or I'm going to be rich. One of the two. You and I will see. We're getting to Spawn. Scotty winning this, everyone, on Bryson and Rory. Correct. You can't be on Scotty. That's why we bet him top 10. You know, we'll make up a bit of our bucks there. Hopefully that helps us. What chalky pieces are you fading besides JT? Zach, I did that a while ago. I told you a couple guys up top. But because I'm a nice guy, we are fading Ludwig, John Rahm, Justin Thomas, Brooks, Neiman, Patrick Cantley, Hideki, Hatton, Minwoo, Wyndham Clark, Sungjae. All the guys in red. All right. Moving along. Max Homa is a maybe right now. We're going to dive back to the guys up top here, but $7,600, 7% ownership for Max. He's had 3 top 10s since the 2024 Masters. The other top 10 came at 2025 Masters. The other top 10 came at the 2024 Wells Fargo. He's played fantastic here. First, 8th, and 8th, 3 of his last 4. He's also missed the cut. He's playing okay. 30th at the Truth. Mike Tyson would love that one. RBC Heritage, 70th. Masters, he finished 12th. Apologies. At the Masters, and then missed the cut, the Valero, blah, blah, blah. So Max isn't playing the greatest. 7% of the field's on a guy that's still looking for his game at a major. And of course, he's played one. So I was keen on Max Homa as a sneaky option. 7% seems hefty, being honest with you. If I were to go somewhere else, I'd go to Brian Harman instead in this range, who is a major winner, who finished inside the top 20, 3 out of every 10 majors. He's been very solid at this golf course. He finished 13th at the PGA in 2017, 24th in 2019 at Quail, 18th in 2021, and then a couple poor performances recently when he wasn't playing the greatest stuff at the time. But if you're taking a look at Brian Harman's situation, we are 115th around the green in majors, but also 19th in putting. So we got some upside on the putting side of things there, and we've also 16th in the field in major approach play. He's very, very good on approach in majors, and he's sneaky good off the tee too. I'm lying to you. 109th in the field. So he's got 2 elite traits, putting and approach play. He's accurate off the tee, 32nd in the field. So $7,400, 2%. Give me Brian Harman. Davis Thompson, distance and accuracy, top 50 in the field. Give me. I'm down. He finished top 10 at the US Open at Torrey Pines. Give me some pedigree there at 5%, $7,300 over Max Homa. DT, been playing some solid golf, better than Homer. 23rd at the Truist, 27th at the RBC Heritage. Finding his groove a little bit. Check some nice boxes for us there. Benny On, we mentioned. Fantastic short game in the majors. Strokes gained majors, number 1. Very, very nice stuff. Putting, can't get it done. But he putted fantastically when he finished 3rd here at the Wells Fargo last year. So we got a bit of love over there. And then his major track record is so-so. Makes a lot of cuts, though. He's a safe option at 5%. Been playing mediocre in the signature events as well. So do what you want with Benny On. Don't mind him at 5% ownership either. I'm out on Akshay. Has never played this golf course the greatest. No top 40s here in the last 3 years. Hasn't done much in majors either. We're looking at his major track record. Got a top 20 or 2. That's about it. So $7,300. Miss me with that. He's not necessarily playing the greatest right now either, is he? No, not much going on with Akshay. Keegan Bradley, 8% ownership. Not sure if I like that. I'll take Cameron Young maybe instead. That pains me to say that. His major pedigree is pretty solid. If we go over to major finishes here for Cameron Young, it's damn disgusting. But, he pops. If you just play Cameron Young in every major, you are likely going to get a Ricky Fowler reference error. Interesting stuff. All right, so what are we looking at here? The best finish. Here's the Masters. Can we at least freeze something on this freaking tab? We can. We're just going to freeze Scotty Scheffler up there, just to have a a benchmark. All right. Cameron Young. Missed the cut at the Masters this year, whatever. Finished top 10 at the Masters in 2024. 2 top 10s in 2023 in the majors. 2 top 5s in the majors in 2022. And didn't do much in the 2 US Opens prior. So we got some pedigree. We've got some zest. Who the heck knows what he gets up to? $7,100. He can perform in majors. It's not going to be because it's Quail Hollow. It's probably going to be because he's a major guy. What has he? Because he's got no top 30s at Quail in the last 2 times he's played. Can't chip or putt in the majors. But what he can do is ball strike the absolute bejesus out of this golf course. 37th in approach play and 5th in driving. It's important here. So there's Cam Young for you. Don't mind him. The model loves Ricky Fowler. Absolutely loves him. I hate that. And I made this model, so I'm telling it to shut up. 7th strokes gained. Best at Quail Hollow. He's 54th in strokes gained this year in majors. He's 96th in strokes gained this year. Ricky Fowler at Quail, 5th in the 2017 PGA, 21st in 2018, 4th in 19, 14th in 2023. Miscut in the 43rd around that. His best finish was the Truist Championship as of sponsors exemption. Didn't even make it into that event. Finished 15th after basically leading the tournament after round 1. Just fell down the leaderboard. Hasn't been playing well. I can't do it with Ricky. Model wants him. I can't. Thomas Dietrich finishes inside the major. 56% of the time he's inside the top 40 in 28 major rounds. Mini Maniac disagrees with Ricky Fowler as well. Don't know if you can hear that. She's losing her marbles back, yeah. Dean Burmester, in his 30 major rounds, finishes inside the top 40 50% of the time. I'll take a bit of him, but he's also 6%. I'll take Sergio Garcia instead, with 1 in every 4 of his majors being a top 20 at 2% ownership. We'll see. Here's Harris English, and I'll be playing him at 6% ownership, $6,800. He checks a lot of boxes. Has finished inside the top 5 in the major in the most recent years. 54%, 54 rounds he's played in majors. What does he do well in majors? He's not driving. He's 135th in majors, 48th in approach play in majors. And then we go all the way to his putting in majors, which is top 10. 10th in the field in putting in majors and 5th this year in putting. So he's putting well this year, putts well in majors. That's a good sign for Harris English. He's also 48th in strokes gained around the green in majors. He's $6,800. You got to find some value. Denny McCarthy is 6th in the field in strokes gained putting in majors and 36th around the green. He has himself also some rather average ball striking metrics. 52nd on approach and 126th in driving. But Denny McCarthy's got a top 10, and I think that was at Brookline. Similar kind of venue, heavy driving place, you know. He plays well at these like dense, rough venues. Played nicely to start the week at the Truist. Played well at Torrey Pines. Plays well at the Memorial. Think of places like that. He does his thing. Spoke about Andrew Novak. Rasmus Højgaard got tons of distance off the tee. That's mainly the reason why. Playing okay golf. Not the greatest this year, but has the chance to really dial in the irons, bomb it off the tee. Let's see where we go. Steven Jaeger, $6,500. 42nd in this field in strokes gained in 2025. Major performances have been rather putrid due to the putting disasters. 134th in strokes gained short game. Not good, Bob. But that's okay. What is it that's the biggest issue for him? It's pretty much everything. But the irons and the driving for Jaeger, pretty darn good in his current major pedigree. Got 20 major rounds. That'll do. Just figure out the short game. What has he been up to this year in the short game department? He's 23rd around the green this year, which is great. 59th around the green in majors. So we could see an improvement there. And the putting has just been bad in general. So Lord help that putter. We just got to get tee to green Steven Jaeger. Let's go. Not bad from 5 to 15 feet on bent grass, though, from 36, if that's how it rolls over here this week. Rico Hoey, we love him for green regulations, out the rough. We like him for strokes gained in driving, in majors. It's really difficult to speak with a baby screaming its head off in the background. I'm sorry. Like, the ADD is kicking in hard, especially when it's your own child. We got to figure this stuff out moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Keith Mitchell, $6,200. 12% ownership, though. If we just filter by ownership, Keith Mitchell shows up. At this price, at that model rank, whew, you know, we got 0 top 10s from this dude. I understand we are going to a place he's got a couple top 10s at, but this is a major. You know, like, don't get confused between Quail Hollow and the PGA Championship. There may be a couple guys who show off their course history and have a good performance. Maybe it's Keith Mitchell, but at 12%, I'm willing to give it a fade. Major finishes. Let's find Keith Mitchell at $6,200. Where are you, Keith? I'm probably staring at his name right now and I can't see it. Let's just put it up here. Keith, not in this thing. Why? Does Keith even have majors? Keith. Yeah. PGA Championship. It's just T58 at the PGA. And then in 2019, he finished outside. It's just been a T20 at the US Open. In 2023, solid. It's just, I'm scared. I'm scared of him in a major. Missed the cut at last year's PGA Championship at Valhalla. The short game is typically an issue for him. It's just an ownership fade in general. Can't do it. Can't do it there. What is the chat doing here? Thanks, Byron. Always enjoy the show and the knowledge. You are most welcome, man. You are most welcome. Hit like and subscribe. Players, yeah, baby. And also, join the Model Maniac Patreon. I would love to have you guys in that and enjoying a good time. Rose on a tough course, always a good idea. The best putter in majors, Keith. What's up, my man? Go check out Fantasy Six Pack, people. By the way, Davis Thompson, Patrick Rogers for a top 10 or top. No. Don't get over your skis, Jack. Top 40s for those guys. Don't shoot for the upside. The majors are where the best shine. Those two are not pedigree golfers yet. Play the safer options with them. The best boys are going to show up best this week. All the top names will show up this week. I can pretty much guarantee you the best golfers will be at the best. These two are not the best. This course will reward one of the elites in the world. I'm using a 5K with Scotty if I like someone at that price. Successful cheap pick maximizes more top tier, provide consistency. Choosing 5K with Scotty offers little differentiation. Thoughts on that is to just, if you go and let's click Scotty. Let's go click Rory and Bryson. So if you click Scotty first, 5 golfers have to be priced average $7,300. If you click Rory and Bryson, 4 golfers have to be $6,500. So I understand that that's less salary, but at the same time, if we like somebody down here, who do we like? So like a Lee Hodges or Patrick Rogers, Hodges and Rogers, I like that combination there. So you back to 69 over here. We like Sammy Valimaki at 5,500. Now you're at $7,600 for your next 2 guys. Let's keep diving in here. We got to find a couple more gems as we get the hell out of here. It's 90 minutes already into the show. Michael Kim at $5,900. Finished 7th at Quail Hollow here a while ago. He's going to be 2%. I'm cool leaning into some course history at this venue if it's a leverage option. Gary Woodland at $5,800 is going to be 7% owned. Good course history at Quail Hollow. Got tons of distance off the tee. It makes a lot of sense. You know, he's 18th in the field in distance, 14th in the field in long scoring long golf course strokes gained off the tee. Taylor Moore is 59th in my model ranking. He's finished inside the top 20 in 1 in every 4 major starts. What is Taylor Moore's situation in majors? I think that'll be interesting to see. We have got ourselves, I'm also just going to actually go to this one quickly. Just gives you a better summary. Taylor Moore, majors. So we got a 12th at the PGA Championship, a 20th at the Masters, and that's pretty much it. But that's 2 of his last 4. He's missed the cut a couple times the last 2 times he's played. We'll see what happens. I don't mind him. He's a cheap option for a reason. These are guys in the 6,000 and below range. There's warts. You got to deal with them. Kevin Yu has got amazing strokes gained off the tee in majors. That's about it. His short game is very, very iffy. Patrick Rogers, favorite play in this range. Mackenzie Hughes, $5,600. Give me. If you're in the mood for Seamus Power, he's got a couple top 10s in majors. He's also played very well at Quail Hollow. Shout out to Zach in the Discord. Brought up Seamus Power. I told him not to play him. Then I checked it out. It actually kind of makes sense. Not playing the greatest golf right now. Corrales, one flight. When you're playing at alt events, your game isn't there. So good course history, though. If you just want a method play, Mathieu Pavon at $5,600, he's found himself in some majors, boys and girls. Does his thing. Laurie Cantor. What has Cantor been up to in majors? He's made one. It's all been open championships for the most part and a PGA, but we've got a lot of made cuts here from Laurie Cantor. And he is $5,400. What has he been up to recently? He's playing on the DP World Tour. I don't know how much of that I have in here. Played the Masters and the Players, missed the cuts both times, just missed the Players. And then we got some solid performances to end the year from Laurie Cantor. Donnie Fantonda's my guy. Played golf with him growing up. He's just one of these dudes that just absolutely grinds away. Open Championship, T40. PGA Championship, 44th. So we can see what he can get up to for us. He's very, very impressive off the tee. He's strong guy. He'll get out the rough just fine. So we'll see what Donnie can do for us. I want to take a look at Rafael Campos quickly. I want to just double check his driving numbers, because it tells me he's really he's got distance. He's low-key got some distance off the tee. So we'll see what Campos can do. Missed the cut at the Masters in his only major, but he's $5,200. So don't get confused with these color codes. We'll see what's happening over here. There we go. That's it, friends. Kind of off to a bit of a rough start here. Rough ending. It is what it is. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Join the Model Maniac Patreon. I appreciate every single one of you. These goddamn gnats are driving me nuts. That's the show. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Check us out on the King of the Draft chair in 25 minutes. Joining right back in there. We're going to do some drafting of these rosters to each get a lineup for us. You can be in the chat and join us. And part of the audience can draft their own team to see if they can beat me and Spencer and Joel's teams. It'll be fun. So lots of fun to be had. Going to be a good time. Let's have a fantastic week at the PGA Championship. Love those around you. Love the golf you see on TV. Bet responsibly. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We'll see you guys next week.